Hello once again, my friends. Wow, excuse me, this is Hambbage, and I think I still have a voice. We're back, and we're going to do some more hardcore vanilla Minecraft in 1.17.1. So thanks so much for tuning in. I hope we've got another awesome, exciting adventure for you, and more emphasis on exciting and adventure maybe this time than the last. Although, quite honestly, um, we may not quite be there just yet. We'll see. Um, but I think the time has come. We're kind of at a good point in our um, adventuring and with 117 stuff to divert our attention a little bit to something that's been outstanding a long time. Oof, it was a hard arrival in the world, I think. Big thump. Um, wow. Totally forgot. How long's it been? Like half hour, 40 minutes or so since I last played. All right, two things to talk about here as we go. Man, what am I gonna do with all this stuff now? Let's get going as we talk. So two things. First thing, I said at the end of the last episode. All right, I'm gonna go look at what we need to do to charge the respawn anchor. And I don't know what happened, but I totally didn't think about it. I kind of know what happened. Um, you know, as I often advocate, it's kind of just before sunset. Like out, my whole area was in shadow, but there was sun out at a low angle, out across into the distance. So it was a beautiful time to spend a little bit of time outdoors, and that was really nice. Okay, we have slept at the base. I also well, I got a big old glass of water. That was very nice. Came back in and realized that the previous video, so 139, maybe? I think this is 141 now. 139 still had like 10 minutes left to upload. So instead of looking into respawn anchors, I was like on YouTube watching, poking around. I like went on Twitch and saw nobody that I follow was live, so I watched somebody that had gotten some content up for a couple of minutes. I was like, all right, that's cool, but I'm not going to get too sucked into it. I watched like half a song on a live concert, and yeah, that was about the extent of it. So, when I said excitement, perhaps what I meant to say was a whole lot of grinding. But it's grinding in the end, and it's for a purpose. We want to get caught up and take down the Wither. That's something that we've been neglecting for far too long, and there's really nothing keeping us from doing it. We've got a whole multitude of skulls, which are very good to have, and we have a well-equipped us to take care of business. So I think we're pretty good in all respects to start that fight. But while I'm a firm advocate of the don't set up just a trapped wither to start. I don't like to waste the opportunity either, and this is kind of new for me. I've yet to have been as successful as I have been with the Wither Skelly farm. So I normally don't have like multiple Wither spawns ready to go before I've even had a first fight. So I like to kind of set up a battle cellar. I want to say like it's like Thunderdome, but it's not at all domey. It's much more contained. But I like to take him down um, underground where he won't just fully get away, but then give him a number of targets in the area to create some roses for us before we um, just finish him off. So that's kind of the goal, and to do so, I like to set it up with a lot of obsidian. It's the wither can still clear out anything, as far as I know, unless something has changed. The wither can move through most anything other than the bedrock, right? That's why killing withers in the end underneath I don't want to get Enderman too angry. But yeah, setting him up under the bedrock where he can't move out of it is a good system. But obsidian is still a pretty good option when you're setting up an area to fight him in, because at least it doesn't just get carved up laterally. It's kind of like a creeper blast, right? If a creeper goes off in a cave underground, it's still going to make a hole, and it's still going to take out a lot of that stone. But the blast from the creeper won't go quite as far. Same thing goes with the wither explosion things. They'll still do some damage, but he's not going to just, erase chunks at a time. Slight exaggeration, but his impact will be contained a little bit better by kind of encapsulating the area in obsidian. So that's what we hope to do here as we get going. So I'm just going to kind of core this, and you'll see what I mean. And that's mainly just to keep the lines of sight down a little bit from the Enderman. So as we hit these corners, we'll just use them, but then keep these sidewalls up. And work our way back down and through the metal. So this is unfortunately a bit of a necessary bait, but it is with the idea that we're gonna go get some punch the wither action going here. Probably not for me tonight. I think we'll do this and call it good, but should be hopefully pretty ready to go on the next episode or two at the most. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, we got an apple. We've got, and I'll set it up the way that I kind of like to fight on those and show you how I kind of consider being prepared for him when we do one of these fights. And once we have him done, then any of the rest of this becomes much quicker, because then we'll have a beacon with some haste. Can actually do this a bit more efficiency. That's exactly what I didn't want to do. Because of course the beacon most appreciated when knocking out some obsidian here. And then, I'm kind of thinking, do we set up a area to fight him in the 17 chunks where, because, it doesn't have to be as big as our storage room, but we want a pretty good sized basement area down low. It doesn't technically have to be down low. It just wants to be contained where we don't have a bunch of other stuff coming in on top of us while we're trying to focus on him. Not that he would be opposed to taking out other enemies for us, but let's not count on that, right? And I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure all the enchantments and stuff have been the same since the last time I, first took on a wither in a world. Oh yeah, I guess it's filling for the. Oh, we ended up with those 2 coal. What was that from? We remember? I mean, was that just odds and ends from way back? I thought we'd loaded up the furnaces with coal blocks. Anyway. So we're making decent progress. Still a long way down over there, though. Oh yeah, this is the excitement everybody wanted to tune in for, right? You guys should grab your own picks and just follow along at home. So what were the other things I needed to look at? Now that I'm thinking about it and we're here just kind of whacking away. The other thing, I had another story to tell too on myself. It's not a particularly flattering story, don't you worry. Um, so I shared with the audience a few videos about a couple days ago that I'd taken an old PC in to get some work done on it, and hopefully that will catapult us into doing some live stuff, which would be great. Um, when I dropped it off, as usual, when you take something and you don't know exactly, if I knew exactly what needed to be done, it would have just been done. I'm not incapable. Windows has never been my, I've never professionally supported Windows systems, so it's, I've never been Windows, whatever the Windows certification is. I never had that, but I had the equivalents in Solaris, which was Sun's Unix, their own operating system. So all of you guys that have only ever known Linux, that's what I started in when that was still. It was always open source, but it was it was their Solaris was the proprietary sold with Sun Microsystem systems. So that was what I got my certifications on. So Windows has always played a little differently, but the basics are there. You understand what the mechanisms of support are all about. So I was I was kind of able to have an intelligent-ish conversation, except that it had been a couple of years since the thing actually started having issues, and I just didn't need it at the time. Time was a bigger priority than that system, and it kind of sat mothballed for a bit. And I just switched over to my laptop, and that was fun. I was, for what my needs were, it was perfect. But as as this has gotten going, you guys have been tuning in a little bit. I appreciate that. I thought, yeah, let's see how I like it with a very limited, probably to start, live audience, and how all that works. But I'd known, and I've said all along, that is too much of a challenge for me anyway from a laptop. I certainly would need multiple monitor support, and just running the chat along with a game or whatever, and trying to capture the VOD and all that kind of stuff, it just becomes very taxing for my laptop is beefy enough to do this, and it's really done it with fewer issues than I had anticipated from the start. But it can't keep you from falling. Okay? This is still where I was trying to finish up. But yeah, it would probably very much start lagging, and smoke pouring out of the vents and everything if it was trying to do all that at once. So I kind of said, if I get to that point, if I'm still doing this, and it's not just been a disaster, I've been enjoying it, which I have, then I'll get that system looked at. So I dropped it off on Wednesday and didn't hear anything on Thursday. I was okay. I'd specifically told the guy, look, this is not a rush. If you've got other stuff backed up, I'm not going to come in and demand immediate fix. Just get to it when you can, and no, understand. I'd appreciate it, however quickly you can have it done, but I get, he may have other commitments and things. So he was very cool about it. He's like, oh, well, I'll keep you up to date. And he hadn't been sure at the time that he had a power supply to try swapping. That I recall, and of course I didn't write anything down separately, at least not that I can find now. But he had, it had been blue screening on me occasionally overnight when it was sleeping. And I'd get error message codes when I came back that were like, system something power, that kind of stuff. That it was like a power adapter or something. And, it was weird because the system was fine. It's a PC, not a laptop. It wasn't getting plugged and unplugged, a lot of that kind of stuff. It was just plugged in, working fine, and then it wasn't. And I told him, I was like, at the time, I didn't know if it was like drivers or something, so I tried doing some updates there, but eventually it just got down. I can't power it up to even get back in again. And so, okay, well then the likely first step is swapping the power supply. It may have just been failing. And he said, if I've got one for it, I'll just swap it in and let you know from there. Do we need to do more? Is it then OS stuff or anything like that? And of course, I'm like, I think this is what the password was, but again, 2 years ago, And it's one of those, when you're not, when you're using a computer every day, that just goes without saying. You know how to get into it. You do it all the time, and it's at the top of your mind. But as soon as it's sat for a while, it just kind of goes. And so I told, I was like, I think it might be this to get into it. If you can't, though, just, you can go ahead and just clean install it. I don't have data on there or anything. So anyway, that was where we left it, and I wasn't freaking out or anything at the lack of content, or contact. But yesterday I had been out, and I think I've mentioned I have an iWatch. A lot of the time I wear it for my walks, especially if I'm going like on a longer one or any kind of a workout. For my morning stuff, I don't necessarily. When I'm on my breaks, I don't. So I'd been out and I didn't put it on, and I missed a call. And when I come back in, I check my phone and all that. It had a missed call, and it had a number, just an unknown number on it. And I don't know about you guys, but I certainly get my share of the robocaller stuff. And those guys are savvy. I never did that, but I worked in that industry enough to understand the cost, how those guys operate when it constitutes fraud and all that kind of stuff. And I knew enough about the technology. You guys probably just noticed it on your own. A lot of times, they will pull numbers for your phone based on your recent calling patterns. So, as you guys know, I went out to Iowa to visit my family. Well, they've obviously got Iowa area codes. So sometimes I'll see calls coming from Iowa, and they're just numbers I don't know. You can kind of guess, hey, that's probably gonna be junk. Well, in Colorado here, we have like four area codes right in the immediate vicinity of Denver, or they kind of spread up and down the Colorado Front Range. And the call I got is one that's easily intermixed of two that serve the Denver metro area, and they both have no they overlap in the same geographic area. So it's not like one is north, one is south, anything like that. It's just, hey, this was the original, this is the one that spilled over into it, and now it's just kind of a hodgepodge. When numbers become available, they use them. So this was from the other one, and again, I didn't recognize it, and I was like, well, that seemed like it would have been the right, it was during business hours, kind of fairly early, maybe that would have been the shop, but I didn't see any message, and I was like, well, I'm not going to call it back, if it's because here's what happens when those robodialers call. They will just they'll grab an outpost number from somebody else's phone. So my phone number may go out on robocalls to somebody else, and that's the fraudulent part of it, but there's really not much you can do about it. And a lot of times I had to help customers that were like, man, I got people telling me that my phone is calling them and doing all this kind of stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that's tough, but it's it's just being masked, it's being populated onto the call records, from a digital caller. You just populate in the outpulse number, and it doesn't have to be valid. It has to be valid in the sense that it has to be the right number of digits and everything, and be in the correct format, but it doesn't have to equate to a phone or a bill record, which is a little sketchy. Can we not tighten that up a little bit? It seems reasonable to think that, but anyway, so I got no voicemail, and I was like, well, all right, that's probably what it was. It was just, another spammer that didn't get picked up by Apple or any of those as a spam risk call. And so it came through, but without a voicemail or anything. I wasn't just going to call the number and be like, hey, did you happen to be the business that I've got a laptop at? I didn't know. So I just let it sit. Well, then late in the afternoon, I picked up my phone to make a call. I was actually on a break between a video, and I think Minecraft had flashed up, call your mom. And I like joked. I was like, I haven't talked to my folks. I saw them over the weekend, but I hadn't talked to them really just to say, other than to say, hey, I finished my drive back. Everything's good. Which you guys should do for your parents too. Even if you're living at home, but going to be out late or something like that, as you're growing up, be cool and responsible. Just let your parents know. They will be so much happier to hear from you and know what's going on than you just deciding, hey, I'm not going home until like 2:30 in the morning, expecting that they'll go to sleep, and then wondering why they're mad and talking about grounding you because you were being irresponsible. That's why. So anyway, it was like, hey, it had been a couple days. I should check in, see how they were getting settled back in after their trip and all that. And it was great, except that when I called, the phone just showed calling and never rang and was just sitting there. And I did that twice. And at that point, I was like, this doesn't seem like a them problem. This seems like a me problem. So I just, rebooted my cell phone. I don't do it that often, but every once in a while, something just gets hung up or stale in the either the Wi-Fi or connecting or trying to switch between Wi-Fi and cellular. So whatever the case was, I rebooted the phone, called my folks, and it went through. And they're like, "Hey, were you calling us? We got the phone rang, but nothing was there." I was like, "Yeah, I think it was me." Blah 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 blah. I talked to my folks. Everything's all great. Text people all through the evening and everything. Never noticed anything, and I don't know if it was just me not being observant of it until this morning when I looked at my phone, and then there was a new voicemail with no new calls, and I was like, "Oh no!" And sure enough, there's a message from the guy like, "Hey, I'm just checking in to give you contact on your PC. I'm gonna be here until whatever time, and then I'll be back in at 10 on Monday. So give me a call back." I was like, "Oh man!" So obviously he wasn't saying it's done, but he wasn't like, "Brace yourself, this is gonna be bad news." If I had to guess, and this could be way off, I don't know. My guess would probably be that, hey, I didn't have the power supply to just swap out, and now it's taken a little bit longer for me to get one on site to do it. So, that's what we're waiting on. Once we do, then I'll let you know. That would be my guess, but it could be anything. So, yeah, now I guess I'll find out on Monday, but just there could have been a million things more critical that I missed in a call like that in that exact same situation. So I'm happy it was that, but it's still frustrating. Anytime that you get reminded how dependent we are on cell phones and connectivity and all that kind of stuff, it's frustrating. It's like, man, why couldn't you have just worked right then? So I know, we'll see. But that has got me a reprieve on cleaning up the office that I'd also talked about. I haven't done any of that. Between working the jigsaw puzzle, as I shared with you guys earlier, from my analog entertainment last night. Let's go down, because I have a feeling there's probably been some despawn already. And you hate to despawn obsidian. We're almost done, guys. Almost done. So yeah, that was kind of the tech news update. But I do hope that corresponds to some progress. And like I said, I would like to to get that set up and squared away. It would be really cool to get some live engagement when playing. And again, I'm going in eyes wide open. I understand what YouTube has been like, and the amount of quantity and the amount of time that I've been doing this. Um, it isn't like there are hundreds of people knocking down my door clamoring for new videos, but I've appreciated each and every one of you guys that has tuned in, and especially as I try to share, you get sick of hearing it from everybody that's producing, but more even than trying to grow the views and the viewer base, just getting those likes and the comments, in addition to the views. I mean, the views are great. Knowing that you guys are out there and watching some of this stuff is great. But getting comments or feedback that you're enjoying it or what you're enjoying out of it, and what, if anything, is bringing you back, or if, for instance, this recent spate of videos that were spread out over my vacation, and then the quick pace here in the days that have followed to get me back to real time. If that's too much, don't be afraid to share. I understand. I mean, it's kind of too much for me too, but it is what it is, and now we're back to real time again. So we'll keep to a little lighter schedule, as I've now gone 3 videos in a row tonight. So, but weekends are another matter. You gotta try to do what you can when you can on those. So I'll be interested to see if I hit real snags, if the first one is a success or a disaster, what I'm not even aware of yet that goes into it. And I've watched through the pandemic particularly, but even a little bit before, I've really used Twitch a lot. Both Twitch and YouTube, really, but Twitch much more actively than I used to, because my main, kind of like my main TV, the bigger TV of the ones that I have, and the one that I watch, most content on, if I'm not like in bed in my room with a smaller TV, most of that is running through a PS4, and it for a long time I wasn't even logged in. I was just lurking for the content, and a part of that was that I didn't want my PlayStation to kind of bleed over on identity stuff and all that. I was relatively new, or just not engaged enough to really know what the pitfalls were with Twitch. So only when I kind of started going live with all this stuff did I go, yep, all right, well, it's time to associate the Hambbage account through that login, so I could be in. And I still occasionally use the laptop so I can comment a little bit and chat and that kind of stuff. But it's a little intimidating, and I'm sure it is for a lot of people. I'm sure that's why there's a lot of people out there that are producing content, so it's not that intimidating. But there's a lot of people that I'm sure are like me, watching relatively big established channels for the most part. And when you do that, you see people with trusted mods that are helping to manage and deal with the stuff, and they've got all kinds of automated notifications and alerts, and half the stuff is just going on seamlessly around them. And even then, there's technical issues and all that they have to deal with in their channels. And that, even more than the recordings, that's a bit intimidating. But I think that the interaction while playing would just be a blast. I don't see too much issue with that. The whole people getting in, trying to get a rise out of you and all that. I'm fine with that. It is a little different, and I don't know how ferociously I would defend the same decorum that I can just maintain on my own YouTube stuff. I'm definitely gonna dissuade, but I also don't want to be the language police exactly in a chat where you come in and use some language that somebody thinks is off color, and that just means that you're not welcome there. Nah, that's not it. But I would definitely encourage people to raise their dialogue a little bit. If you're just going for the cheap shot, or to swear because mommy and daddy aren't looking over your shoulder, okay. But you guys have heard me too. Well, not many, but way back in a couple of the videos, there's been a couple times when I've nearly died, and I've let a few words slip. I'm an adult, and I hang out with adult friends and all that. So sometimes just my own language is not PG-13 either. But when I'm around my family and those people, it is. That I, out of respect to them, change my discourse. Oops. Just hey, my parents don't want to hear me showing that I know what all the 4-letter words are, right? They know them too. They don't use them around me. It's kind of a two-way street. So we'll see. We'll see how all that plays out. That's a little intimidating. But I've seen some chats that welcome it, and kind of whether they encourage it or not, they engage with it. And I've seen others where it just doesn't become an issue, where I think the dialogue raises above, and probably there's some mods that are working there. I don't want to spend a whole, I don't want to spend all the time that I have to play blocking that out. All right, we spent a lot of time on that. I apologize. I hope the conversation filled in. Let's see how we're doing. Ooh, 55% of the last video is up. So I'm just pulling up a browser here in the background. I'm going to check this right now. Respawn Anchor Minecraft. Respawn Anchor official wiki. Breaking, crafting, respawning, sounds, charging. Where's charging? Why do you want to break them? Okay. Respawning. A respawn anchor is used to respawn in the nether even if the player leaves the nether. Once the block is charged, it can be used to set the player's respawn location. Charging. When crafted, a respawn anchor has 0 charge and can't be used until charged. When a glowstone block is used with it, a charge is added, the texture of the block changes, and it starts emitting a light level 3. Up to 4 glowstone blocks can be used to charge the anchor. Charge is indicated by a dial on the side of the block. Each additional piece of glow increases the light level. Okay, so it's glowstone. Well, that would have been nice to know when we were crafting it. Let's pick this up. We've got glowstone. Don't jump on the stairs. Every time I jump. No, that's what my mom used to say to me when I was a kid. Don't jump on those stairs. Break the floor. Dun, dun, dun. Where are they? Glow blocks. We need 4. One other thing I was thinking of, options, video. How do you guys feel about view bopping? You want that off? I'm going to turn it off for a while. I think I'm pretty motiony anyway. So let's put it over here. Well, I guess getting back to the base would be the best place. So we'll just put it here between the storage and the... Okay. There we go. Hey, there's another advancement. So, I'm not sure I'm ready yet. So it's going to be another long haul to get back over there. And I think we... it's been so long. How do we... What? What's that all about? Okay, these are splashes of instant health 2. I think that's what we want. The others are... strengths. So let's... Oh! That was a waste? Alright. Our health's glistening melons. So we got... And then we want... Is the glowstone to strengthen it? I think that's how it goes, right? Oh, we need some... Gotta do a test batch anyway. Alright. Try not to trash these. Don't trash those. What we got here? I do. Oh. Okay. You start there. Now. Those should go. Oh, it's just so much clutter. Consumables? Obsidian is consumable, right? Okay. Let's take back 6 of those. Now, I don't know if we can double up the... So those will keep going for 8. I mean, this is total overkill, right? The healths... We don't even know if we've made yet. Okay, that's instant health. Now, this is 2. What's the one we gotta wait on? Put those away. Oh, why do we have bottles over here? Good. Good. Okay. I guess I should have been, because those are still awkwards. So we'll just make a few of these. We're going to need more glowstone dust. We'll need more of those. We will need one more of these. Okay. More instant health 2s. Do not waste. So, how many of you guys already know what the plan is here? Everybody already figuring it out? It's just kind of a minor insurance bit. But I want to... Why did I already put away the... Did I... Oh, no. Oh, no. Please. Okay, maybe it'll still go. Oh, I thought that was an order-specific thing. I was like, oh, no. So we're going to set these up kind of in a ready environment for ourselves. Oh, I guess we have... Wait, what more do we... I kind of want to keep a few of those. What's this? Fire res. 5 fire reses, a slow fall. Those are strengths. It's just all over the place. All right. I think that's at least a little better. So, what do we actually do that so they stand out more. Okay. So, for our fight, we'll take a strength, and then we'll just rely on the rest of these to be our backup if we need them. And I'm just trying to load these up in advance so that we have them, because I don't want to have to gather the resources all the way out there when we've already got so much of this stuff. Let's come up here. So we got 2 of the pieces. It's kind of confusing. Okay. Got those. Are you kidding? Of course. All right. I need cobble and I need string. How silly is that? Might as well get sticks. I think we have some of those down here too. So we'll just try to gather everything up here, and then first episode tomorrow will be running back out, and building the venue. Oh man, I almost forgot in all this. We need the skulls too. String. And cobble, right? Wish I'd thought of that while I was all the way down here. As far as I know, there's not a lot of wiring. I think it's just right there. It'll trigger. We put them here? No. Here? No. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Guys? What did I do with all the skulls? Soul sand, right? Yeah, it's gotta be soul sand, because it can't be soul soil. Should really just do this. Alright, and we need... Just take a stack. Okay. A couple more things. Take a full stack of redstone. Getting some... What is the deal? These days just fly by. Okay. And last thing... We haven't even been around long enough to spawn up many of these guys. But I recall saving at least a couple stacks. I hope. Or not. We're on the plains there. We can grab a bunch more. We'll check the fridge, the food box. Couple more. That's a disappointment. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. I think we're just at about time. Let's make these. Oh no. Oh, you can't even stack them? Huh? That is the right one, right? Yes. And yeah, I probably should have just typed it in and then done a shift click. test here. So, here, there, there. Oh. Yes. So, kind of the safety idea here, if you're getting what I'm throwing down. So, we can start our fight with him doing his sizzle and his pop, and then he'll be diverted. That's where these come in. He'll stay down at the far end. We can pew, 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 pew him with the bow, get him worked down quite a bit. And if he starts coming after us, our first move is pop the apple, and then we pop here. And if for any reason it goes so long that our strength has gone down, we just come back further and we've got another pop of strength in a splashback behind it. And you kind of space these out, run them back in a corridor so you can kind of go and then run back. And if he wants to chase, he's kind of got to come back this corridor. You know, if you figure that this is all a narrow hallway with some obsidian, we've still got a big space out beyond where he's hanging out. We're fighting, but we've just got a little retreat with some built-in advantage for us to take him down. So, a little bit of fun with the technology to add a little something to the battle dome, if you will. All right, let's put this, these two, this in case we need it, the wither skellies, the sand, the backup sticks, all of that can go in. We'll be using that to set up, and then we've got all the obsidian in this shulker box too. So I think that leaves us pretty well done, and we'll come out here and feed again. Yeah, I've been a victim of being too on it with the dumb chickens, and reapplying their eggs all the time. So I haven't ended up with just chests and chests of them. Usually, it's like, oh, I got a bunch of these. And admittedly, you know, if I'm just playing solo, usually I'm taking them on a little quicker without the whole build the world and set it up. So let's check our time. We're not quite at the hour, but we're getting close. We'll maybe just give them another moment or two to see if we can get any more eggs out. You know, unfortunately, we can set up and start the chickens early and actually breed them in their little spaces to start. But just having 3 stacks of eggs, I mean, that could be 4 chickens. If you were really unlucky, that could be no chickens. So do it here, do it there. We gotta get our flock back up a little bit. I guess doing it there is probably better. Because the whole reason we wanted them down here is to not have too much lag. So I think we're pretty well set up. Oh, we have to remember, is the apple in the just the regular ender chest? Don't want to forget it. Yes. Okay, so it's ready to go. We got it. Got our rockets and our explosives. We've got all the breeding plus all the obsidian to build the room. I think we're good. All right. Well, let's do we do a kind of like the glow frame for the image, but I don't know what's cool out here. S'more, you haven't had a picture in a while. Let's get you over by your flower. I know, it's tough to get it and you. Alright, there you go. Good kitty. We'll do a s'more pick for you guys. Hope you enjoy that. I saw the game decided to put the dogs up again and had so much fun with them when I first got them. When I just left a random thumbnail on one of the previous videos, it was like, dogs. Yep. Hambbage likes dogs. Let's put them in. So we'll give s'more a shot too. Get him some love. Man, why do I keep losing stuff? Are they upstairs? Oh. We don't even have to dip into the supply. Come on. Can just do them down here. Or we can just grab the supplies and take them. Do them all out in 117 land. Copperclad mine. Not like we need all that string, but what else are we going to do with it? Okay. We are now set to go on out and take care of our stuff. So we got a respawn anchor that we will never use, fully charged up in the nether. That was a good win for us. We got a whole bunch of obsidian. We should be good for quite a while on the obsidians. But they'll come in handy. I hope you guys enjoy what we'll hopefully have for setup in our battle. I guess we'll figure out some kind of lighting when we get out there. Because we want to be able to, I want you guys to be able to see it particularly. Oh, just hit the mic. So yeah, lots of good, but plan on a wither fight. Maybe one more setup in it. Warning, a huge battleship Steve is approaching fast. All right, Steve and Rita. Those were the splash screens of the day. There will be a quiz sometime. I think this is going to be it for me for the day. 3 episodes. And not super riveting. I know. I apologize for the delay, but that's hardcore. We gotta do the work to have the fun, and we're gonna have the fun here, Wither style, pretty quick. Once we have it set up, we may actually do a couple of them in pretty quick succession. Just because we'll have the room, we'll have all the supplies there, barring having gone through all of our emergency supplies, which, again, I set those up, and if everything goes right, you don't need them. Even, if he just somehow gets you and things go wrong and you pop a totem, you still normally don't need them because by that point it's it's over. It doesn't go terribly long either way. But yeah, we'll well, I say all that. It's been a while since I've had a wither fight, but not too terribly long. They're fun. So yeah, we'll look forward to that. Maybe my time tomorrow. We'll see. I'll for sure get one episode up though and do the setup, and then we'll either fight them sometime tomorrow or on Monday. But that will all be determined in the future. And for now, you guys just need to focus on the fact that you are absolutely awesome for being here, for watching through the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed the content. I hope you come back for more. Please do consider hitting the like or grabbing a subscription here. They're free, and that'll just keep you informed when I do have new videos dropping, because that schedule is not going to stay as it has been for the last few days. So keep tuned in, and I'll let you know what's coming. On that, take breaks. If you've got a wither fight coming and there's a bunch more videos already populated, it's okay. They'll stay. They're not going to get pulled down. So go take a break. Step away from the screen for a bit and give your eyes and your brain a little chance to reset, refresh, as well as moving around and getting that blood pumping in your body. So take care of yourselves, take care of somebody else, stay awesome, and I will see you back here the next time you guys drop by. Till then, see ya.